If you told me back then, oh, I never would've guessed. So now the way I'm winning, I might have to cut the net. How? Yeah, I'm shining bright, got me feeling like I'm next.
6-6.
Yeah, I'm shining bright, got me feeling like I'm next. So feeling like I'm Curry, how I'm balling on the West Wall. If you told me back then, oh, I never would've guessed. So now the way I'm winning, I might have to cut the net. How? Yeah, I'm shining bright, got me feeling like I'm next. Now I will not fumble a bag. Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. If you can tell, we are testing out some new visuals, thanks to one of our awesome, wonderfully talented panel members, who's being very extra below. Yeah. Anyway, we have some awesome people on the panel. That's all I'll say, and I'm very excited to welcome them. We are here to discuss what has been a very surprising season of Ready to Love. Surprising in ways I did not expect. But if nothing else, good conversation always helps smooth over the pain and boredom we might experience from episode to episode, and that's okay. So, without further ado, let's bring in some of these panel members. For starters, this is none other than my cousin, none other than my dear pal from up in DC. She is all about Black business, supporting Black business, supporting Black authors, Black storytelling, just blackity black, and so much more. And we listen. You know, we know how the world is. We know how stuff is from day to day. And listen, supporting Black in any sense of the word is something we definitely champion. So without further ado, hey y'all, it's none other than the Belle Perspective TV. How you doing?
Oh my gosh. Hey y'all. You had me hyped up in the little studio. I was like, okay, black. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Listen.
Okay,
you know, this is the brand. You know, it's a brand, yes. It's a lifestyle. Like, we gotta let the people know. You know what I'm saying?
It's what I gotta do. It's what I do.
All right. And so introducing our other panel members. Up next, we have a very lovely lady from the Northeast, from a very special island with a very distinct accent. She is all about mental health, all about TV shows, TV show reviews, movie reviews, you know, letting you know what's up on the scene, like what there is to watch. We got too many channels, too many streaming services, and she's here to help you figure out, like, hey, here's what you need to watch. Let's get it together. You know, and, just give you some good content to check out for yourselves personally. And, you know, as far as her channel, I definitely want to continue to see people support her and, show her love. She's given, as so many people are, we know how this algorithm is, and we just want to see people continuing to move forward and move up. And if you are willing, please check out her channel. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and get that retention up by watching all the way to the end. My girl, Miss Kira Speaks. What's going on, Kira?
Come on, intro. Yes.
Listen, had to spice it up a little bit. It's like, look, the show's not giving it. Let me give a little that the show's not giving. So. But how's your week been? Doing all right?
It's been a week. I'm happy to be here with you guys. It's my favorite time of the week.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. All right. Now we have a wonderful, enjoyable commenter of mine who keeps me company in the mornings when I don't want to get up and drive and go to work. So just being able to laugh and just enjoy our commentary on pretty much anything. It's always enjoyable. And if you disagree with her, that's okay, but not too much.
Not too
My
much.
girl-
Okay, you got this.
right.
That's it.
So without further ado, one of my we always have a good time. My girl Shayna McDonald.
D has such a way with work. My last name is not McDonald, by the way.
That's all right. People don't gotta know all that.
For the longest, I found Shayna's channel. I think it was because of you, Belle. And I kept trying to go back. And the only way I could find it was when I would go back to my history. And I kept typing in Shayna and I kept messing up the last part of it. And so finally I had to say Shayna, Mickey D's, Shayna McDonald. That's what I always think about.
Thank you so much, D. Y'all know D got away with words.
Like I said, I got to do my best. And maybe I have to overcompensate a little bit because certain shows aren't bringing what they should, but hey, we do the best.
We got it over here. We give y'all the best that we got with what they give us. I mean, Belle with the technology, D with the wordsmith, Kara the mental health. We got it over here.
And affirmations, she gonna come through with a good affirmation. I'll be feeling good on a Monday.
All right, and I mean, we've only gotten into this whole live stream panel journey for, it's only been a short amount of time, but we already have a special guest who wanted to join us to, spill quite a few things and something that's not just on the inside of a teacup. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, if you haven't seen his name before, or if you aren't familiar with his channel, you will definitely see him in almost anybody's comment section because he will definitely support. He will pop in and say hi. Like, he is definitely there to just show up and show out for so many awesome creators here on the tube. And I can't wait to see what he has to say. And I'm excited to chop it up with him. That is none other than JB Says What.
Welcome.
Thank y'all for having me.
JB is family over here. Glad to have you, JB.
Yes. So, for starters, I mean, I've already kind of given it away, but what can we start with our general consensus on this episode and just your general feeling as it ended?
Anybody go? I was gonna say, can we just skip to the end? Like it just let's just skip to the last 5 minutes.
I'm saying, like, I was waiting, and it's just like, I mean, that really could have been the show right there at the end, because I was waiting, and it just felt like I was spinning my wheels the entire time. What about you, Kara?
It was giving Twilight Zone. It was a little bit of musical chairs. I was like, since when? And then what? And then, oh, okay. That's what we're going with. So I was like, musical chairs it is.
Yeah.
It's the still building connections when we're about to meet the families for me.
Right.
Like, what?
Right. Y'all literally, when we leave the retreat, somebody should have self-eliminated because they've already realized that the connection that they were building with that person is or it isn't. Somebody's going home, relationships or couples are solidified. Like, why are we still trying to figure out and make decisions? Like, I'm not understanding. I don't get it.
One word I would say for this episode: mass confusion. Mass confusion.
Yeah.
I agree. I'll give you that.
We have some folks in the comment section. Good friend of mine, IMO Reviews, aka Elliot. Hope you have a great stream, guys. I did the haze. It's 2. Yes, Elliot lives in the UK, so the time frame is quite far ahead. So 2 a.m. Hope you're all keeping well. Yes, thank you so much for stopping through, Elliot. I'm slowly making my way back into these YouTube streets, so I'll definitely have to be checking out your latest content soon. Definitely. We have Miss Dennis. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Joe. All right.
Mama
Okay.
Mac. Hey, Mama Mac.
Hey, Mama Mac.
Oh, I totally missed it. My bad. Hello,
Okay.
Tanya Mac. How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, we got one more, D. It just came in.
Ooh. Uh-oh, we have Miss Bay Thang. I love that name. Hello,
Me
everyone. I'm
too.
new here. Well, welcome. Normally part of Playback Gang, but I had to see this live tonight. Well,
Glad to have you.
Okay, come
I
on.
do a quick shout out to Chloe Johnson for also posting our live on her community tab. Thank you,
Oh,
sis.
thank you. Thank you to her. Y'all know what? Let's instead of getting into the show immediately, because we wasn't really nothing going on. Can we get into the like I've been talking about this mess? Like, I can't wait to hear the mess.
Okay.
Let me see how D want to do it.
Oh yes, sorry.
This week.
No.
You're absolutely
No,
right.
y'all are good. Y'all are good. But I did want to say one other thing, and I want to wait till everybody was on. But we do like to shout out and reward hard work in these YouTube streets. I already put this person on blast backstage, but I will go ahead and do it here. Somebody just hit 500, and they're already 10 over as far as subscribers. The Belle Perspective TV. I'm telling you, the content has been like,
Okay.
I mean, she's been
She got
out.
100 subscribers in like a week. She ain't won that recognition last week. No,
Right.
we celebrate milestones like birthdays. Okay, it's hard to get them in these YouTube streets.
Exactly.
I'll take it. I appreciate it.
well.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm working my way up, y'all. I'm working my way.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Harold. What?
Uh-oh.
Hey, girl.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, it is a party, and you are here. So now the party is complete, Harold. We appreciate
Yes, we ready.
Let's see if Harold watched tonight. Normally he don't watch.
Right.
Oh, he watched last week.
No, he said yeah.
But yes.
I hope-
So as far as you guys, are you feeling compelled to discuss the foolery that commenced at the end as opposed to the bulk of the episode? I'm open.
You know why? You know my vote. I'm not gonna pity pat with the mess. I'm ready for it. But you know, you refined folks. I'll let y'all lead the way.
What was the question again, D? I think I missed it.
I was saying, like, are you guys preferring to kind of start with some of the mess, or I guess at least discuss a good bulk of the mess that commenced towards the end of the episode, considering how
some people don't watch it, so they might not know what's going on. So we want to go through the review. It's real quick. It's
They made us wait, make them wait.
Really.
All right. Well, we start off picking up after a completely unnecessary cliffhanger, but then they're always unnecessary, so that's not really saying much. Sierra should have seen the writing on the wall and just, chose herself and made her exit to the left. But I guess she wanted to, I don't know, she was waiting for the final check or the final appearance fee. So she stuck around, got eliminated, told she was not ready to love, said something that I thought was unfortunate, especially considering Belle's latest review on the last episode. She said she thinks she should have been more serious about Maurier, and that's why he might have pushed her away.
Oh my God.
I cannot bring myself to agree with, because Maurier doesn't seem to take his own life seriously.
Okay.
So I don't think she's the issue here. Before I continue, and before, as far as Sierra making her exit, and I also noticed really quickly that as she said, "Thank you," as she was leaving, maybe it was just me, but I heard some relief in her voice, almost like, "Ooh, okay, I'm done with this. Cool." That could have just been me, but it kind of sounded like that. And so the thing is, Sierra recognizes, hey, I have fun, I have a good time. I just need to have, I need to find someone who is on that same wavelength with me. And then she decided to bow out from there. So what did you guys think about
I agree with the relief. That's the same relief I heard in Kira's voice when she got let go. Like, just self-eliminate at this point. Like, everybody can just go home. Somebody can self-eliminate by now.
But I hear, was that actually JB? I feel like I was listening to one of your reviews where you were saying that production didn't allow them to.
So Jessica informed me that a lot of people this season wanted to self-eliminate, but production just wouldn't allow them to self-eliminate. And Sierra even said it on social media that she wanted to self-eliminate, but the production company wouldn't let them self-eliminate. So that's why we're getting self-eliminations this season.
I think if there was any week for that to happen where they would allow it, it would be this week because of the uneven numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think, again, like we all know, they want to pit women against each other. So they're fighting over the little
scraps
men that are left over.
Scraps is the word. That is an accurate term.
They already put in more effort anyway, because the men, it's always the women chasing behind the men, even with self-eliminations. Like, it's like the women are like, hey, I've been calling you, you don't call me. It's every season.
Every season.
Yeah, Harold said, did not. I'm glad you know, Katarina. I'm here for the panel. I'm over the season at this point, directing me to the reunion. I've been waiting on the reunion since like the past, I don't know how many episodes, like
8 episodes, 9. Which episode we on now? 9.
That's 247.
Yes.
That's exactly how it feels.
Yes.
So this week, according to Tommy, it's all about alignment and spending quality time with your connections. And then in this week, power's in the hands of the ladies. And so one of the men is going home. So yes, clearly Jessica, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm very melodramatic. I don't mean to be. But yes, Jessica is not happy about the word combative being used to describe her. And she is ready to have a conversation regarding who said it, although she has a very, she's very clear on who said it, who was most likely to have said it. They mentioned something about, checking, they go inside and they mentioned something about, checking in on Maurier, and Janelle's like, who cares about Maurier? Let's check in on Jessica and see how she's doing, because the men, y'all need to be covering us and, help us tap into our feminine energy. And, Jessica feels like she should just be quiet because she doesn't want to be perceived as being combative. So she's going to just zip it. And then Janelle says that she doesn't want to come across as picking up Jessica's cross, so to speak, even though that's exactly what she's doing. And
literally what she did. Literally.
And as soon as she said, as a Black woman, I meant to upload it here, but I took a picture of the screen as soon as Janelle said, as a Black woman, and Quinton, Chris, and who am I missing? And I think it was, no, not Phil.
Was it Maurier?
I'm missing whoever it was right here. But all 3 of them were sitting there and they were looking like, they looked so irritated as soon as she started talking, and especially when she said that. And she doesn't understand why y'all would be comfortable using that terminology, combative. And I think Janelle, of all people, certainly couldn't relate to that term. What do you guys think?
Belle, you want to go? That's your good sis.
I told you last week I gave back my Janelle card. Now I don't know why y'all gave it back last week. See how y'all trying to be messy? Anyway, I have 2 questions. Sorry, D, that I'm answering a question with a question. I don't do that, but I don't understand. On Twitter, I kept reading that people were saying that Jessica is combative and all this other stuff, but I really haven't seen a whole lot of combativeness from Jessica. Now, it may be maybe birds of a feather, and you're seeing one person and that person's actions, you're just assuming. But I'm like, Jessica's probably been the least problematic person on the show. Or she hasn't really been kicking up a whole lot of dust. So I don't understand why people have been saying that about Jessica. 1, 2, Janelle just needed she just need to go sit down. Girl, it's not you. This is not your fight. Oh, and my last thing, and I'll be quiet, I promise. Well, on this subject, at least. I don't. Does it seem like every season we always have to have some phrase that's put on Black people? As a Black man, you shouldn't call me aggressive. As a Black woman, you shouldn't call me aggressive. Every season we have one of these. Don't call Black women aggressive, combative, angry. Every season, do we do this all the time? It's old. It's real old. Okay, I'm done for now.
Yeah, I have seen some reoccurrence with some of the conversations there, and of course, it does get tied into kind of either if it's not the Black community specifically, then it's like you said, Black men or Black women. Kira, what's your take on this particular moment?
I mean, I got where he was coming from because we should support each other, but it was just like, you already know what it is. Everybody knew who it was, and he didn't want to fess up, so it was just like, we just talking to talk at this point. Because he was like, who? Actually, at first, I don't think he said he didn't say it. Everybody else was like, well, I didn't say it. I ain't say it. He was kind of just like, so it's like, as a Black woman, it don't really matter.
He's such a ban. Oh my God, he's such a ban. I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Shayna?
I don't know. While this was going on, and I was just looking, because everybody keeps saying Chris got a hairpiece, and I'm like,
yes.
Hairpiece. Why not? I could not just look away.
You know, I'll be honest. I haven't really paid attention this whole time, and for whatever reason, when I was watching this episode and he turned his head to the side, and I looked at this line, I was like,
Beijing is one thing, but I was like, it is looking a little thicker than it was before. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't realize it was now the street said it. That's not what I was saying. That's what the street said. But now my eyes are focused on it.
Yeah, I saw that line, and I saw that, I was like,
I don't know if the unit was too tight, and that's why he was just acting a little sassy. He said sassy red is gone, so somebody got to switch him. Him not fessing up was just whack. I'm not gonna. I mean, like, yeah, he didn't. This is like, well, I won't jump ahead, but he should have owned up to it instead of trying to let Maurier take the fall.
Yeah. So, and then JB, I was gonna jump back in after you.
So what I will say is, I did not like the fact that when Jessica asked the question, the men just kind of skirted over it. They didn't want to throw Chris under the bus. It's like, I mean, it's obvious he's the one who said it. He's the one that has the issue with her, right? And to Jessica's defense, I've met her now twice. I met her in my office space, and she invited me to this community event where she gave out backpacks to the kids and did so much stuff for the community, right? She's not been combative to me at all. She's been nothing but sweet to me. Now, I will say, when I first met her, I saw her twice, right? So the first time I saw her, I was like, I think that's Jessica from Ready to Love, but I kept going. Then the second time I saw her, I'm like, that's Jessica. But she was going other direction. And I was like, the third time I saw her, I was like, you know what, I'm going to stop her. You Jessica from Ready to Love. She was like, I was like, you're Jessica from Ready to Love. Then she said yes, but she's been nothing but sweet to me. So I don't get the combative side from her. And I mean, let's be real. The person who's been the most combative this season is Janelle.
Yeah.
So why can't we use that? And I'm one of those men who, I will say, when it comes to Black women, I don't like to use the words aggressive. I don't like those trigger words to use it against Black women, right? But when the shoe fits, you got to wear it.
Right.
And with Janelle, she is the most combative. With Jessica, she's just very stern, and she says what she means, and she means what she says. Right. So I don't know where they're getting combative from. I just think that with Chris can't handle. He wants a more submissive, docile woman, and that's not what Jessica is.
But he acts like Jessica did something to him personally. It's on the whole, like, if y'all don't click, everybody's just not going to get along. Everybody's not for everybody. He's taking it to a whole nother level. The most I saw Jessica do was roll her eyes at one point with Janelle. That's the only time it was kind of giving, like, maybe she's mean girl. I think her hanging with Janelle, now she's picking up that aggressive trope. like she needs to kind of distance herself. But even when Janelle didn't want to participate last week,
Jessica was participating.
so Jessica isn't always aligning herself with Janelle.
I'll quote something that Misha said. Jessica has RBF. I think, hell, I even have RBF. You look at me, you'll think I'm the meanest person. I just have a resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Same.
That's just all it is. My face I just look like this most days. Yeah. It doesn't mean that I'm mad or upset. It just means either I'm just not in the mood or it don't
mean. What we should say, once you start talking to, I'm sure any of us, then you'll get a whole nother response and a reaction. So, and I think that's the same with Jessica. I mean, she handled herself very well this episode.
She did.
And I don't see her being combative either. I think she needs to remove herself from Janelle. But that's about it.
Right. Let me catch up on the comments. Harold said, Belle gave Janelle to the Lord. She's heaven's problem now. It's above her now.
It's above me now. It's above. I can't. Ain't nothing I can do.
I'm glad you got them shackles off you.
I know. I've been delivered.
Brady Vaughn says they do it every season. Yep, I agree. Sean Bennett said the unit. Yes, the unit. Yes, it was very apparent to me. Hey, Brandy Yvonne, I want to say thank you for stopping through and just showing some love and interacting with us.
She has one more down. Sorry.
What'd you say about?
Oh no, I was gonna say she's got one more about Jessica being combative, but you already got it.
Yeah, Jessica doesn't seem combative, but she does give she don't play, and she always speaks like she at work. Yeah, that's the same thing. Like it's a difference between being combative and just kind of just not taking nonsense and just kind of being low tolerance. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I understand it a lot more now than I did when I was younger. And I think it's easy to interpret people with personalities like that as being standoffish or mean, but it's more for me, and I sometimes get the same thing. A lot of it for me comes down to boundaries and just how I just compose myself around people, especially when I don't know them, because I usually have to have a little bit of, I won't say a wall up, but there's a little bit of a guard, because I'm more mindful of how people can come to you with the scheme that Todd set up to come to you with the bull, and I'm just not interested in that, especially at this stage of my life. So I think Jessica's getting a bad rap, and I don't really understand why.
Yeah, I mean, I said this on Misha's live yesterday. Chris didn't have this energy when they were holding hands. When she was up there making sure that he spoke to everybody to keep him on, he didn't have this energy. Now I was like, you don't want to do motherly duties. Now there's an issue. Like, I don't understand it. But like Portia said a few weeks back, it's given maybe deliverance from Eva. Like maybe something happened in her past that causes her to have a wall up and keep her guard up for good reason, because look at how Chris turned out. Right. But it's like he's not the one that would bring out that softer side of her that he wants her to have.
Yeah. But I think the whole Chris wanted a softer side, and I'm 100% in agreement with Harold right now. He's insecure, and he needs somebody that's going to prop him up. He doesn't want a girl or woman who is sure of herself, knows what she wants, and can stand on her own and be the center of attention. He don't want that. He wants somebody who's going to prop him up. And if he sees that you're not propping him up, he sees that as conflict, right? If that makes any sense. So it's like a diva fight. Sorry, not to use the word diva to describe Chris, but
you call him sis on your review.
I mean, it could apply, but anyway.
She called the man sister. I said, oh.
I'm just saying. But I'm with you, Harold. Like, he's a very insecure man. And yeah.
So I want to chime in real quick. So she says that she's combative, right? Mind you, I told you guys I had a whole hour-long conversation with Jessica. At first, when the conversation started, her face, she has a poker face. Stoked. She didn't show any emotions. Then after about the 30-minute mark, when I started talking about Chris, her face shifted. Like you could literally see the disgust in that man, that she just does not like him. But I will say to Jessica, she never, and I mean never, said anything disrespectful are negative about Chris. So for her to be such a combative woman, she could have said everything to me, but she took the high road.
Right.
That's good to know.
I'm so like disappointed in Chris. He just hopped in Red's place. I'm like, where did this come from? This is not the guy that you presented to us at first.
Well,
They can never keep it up for long. Eventually,
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got the representative, and the representative can only last for so last for so long. At some point, the real person has to emerge. So yeah. Yes. So Phil was trying to figure out, as far as Janelle, like, how did this become a y'all situation? And like you guys said, like, no one was really on. I mean, excuse me, not no one. No one was referencing who actually said it. And clearly Chris was taking zero initiative to say anything. Maurier gets up and leaves, but he's like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing. Okay, fine. Chris is basically just standing 10 toes down on not standing 10 toes down. Like he's just not like, nope. Where did that come from? I don't know. No clue. And as far as Jessica, she says at this point, she's learned how to respect the dead, which was an interesting.
I'm using that. I'll say, I'm still in that. I hope since I'm still in that one.
So, so we see Kat, and again, Belle, I have to shout you out as far as your review. We see Kat making her way upstairs with the guys, and now Kat, you have to. And I'm curious to know what you guys think about this, either in this situation or just generally. Because she says she feels like we shouldn't shy away from using words that are received as offensive, especially if they are true. Like, if you don't want to be perceived a certain way, you shouldn't act that way. There's that. But what I noticed in her interaction in this room with the guys, Belle, you had already said, and I hadn't noticed before, but you had said that Kat, there was some serious awkwardness with how she would, like, interact with the guys, almost like, hey, what's going on, guys? And they're just like, hey.
Right. You guys in here? Is everybody in here? What you doing? Like, go sit down.
Yeah. And I really saw when she walked in and she was discussing, it just felt like they all was sitting there like, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, all right, bye. Like, it was very tense and very awkward. And I was just like, oh, Kat, you need to save yourself and please. Well, we now know that they won't let them do that, but I'm like, then we get scenes like this where we see this weird, tense, awkward, like, hey, I'm trying to force these interactions now. Like, I understand I don't know if they are worried about, like, there being this mass exodus of cast members as far as self-eliminations, and maybe they need some backups, but this can't be the alternative. Because I was watching this scene, I was like, oh, okay, I see exactly what Belle's talking about. What did you guys think of this moment? We can start with you, Belle.
I agree with you. It was awkward as hell. Side note, why were they all sharing that one room? All three of them was in that room, and that's the room that they sleep in. All three of them grown ass men.
They get beds.
Were they in some bunk beds? They was
yeah, that's what I thought. I saw. I said, "Is that a bunk bed?"
You 40 in this bunk bed?
I would have took the couch.
I'm in a hotel. I'm not fooling with y'all.
I'm breaking my contract.
I'm about to go. Sorry, that just threw me off. I was like, these grown ass men in these day beds and bunk beds. That threw me off. But yes, Kat was giving pick me in that. Like, don't forget about me. Okay, Sierra left, but don't forget about me. I'm still here. I'm not combative, you guys. Pick me. That's what she was giving.
Do you think producers played a part in that? Like, pushing her to talk to?
Nah. She was on that type. She was on that last week.
Mm-hmm.
She was on that last week as well. So that's my thought.
Kira.
She's given very much pick me and male identified. I was like, girl, the thirst is real. Can you please sit down a minute? And she's also, like, I'm skipping forward a little bit, giving me a little bit of those chameleon vibes. because first of all, what happened to Q, and now you're over here with. I was like, how did we get here? But with Chris, it's we're both like African and da 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 da. And then with somebody else. Oh, then with Maurier, she's like, yeah, I'm into the spiritual. I'm like, girl, you every woman. You every woman.
So basically, Kat is like, I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want to, baby, it comes naturally. Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that. Shayna?
I'll go back to Janelle and her knapsack. Even though I really don't see it for her, I feel like at least somebody was defending Jessica in that moment. So I am glad that she stood up for her friend with her towel wrapped around and put her foot down. Like, no, somebody got to be the voice for a reason. And Kat, I mean, she's there. Like, what else is she got? It don't pay to be a pick me. But I mean, she's there, so she might as well try to force a connection. You know what I mean? Otherwise, she'll just be sitting there like Sierra, practically begging to get eliminated. And it's all on deaf ears.
And
Kat should have caught a ride back with Sierra. You have
so yeah, Kat in that dense wig definitely gave pick me.
Ooh, okay. That wig, she brought it back. I was like, God damn, I thought we left it. Girl, I thought you left it at home, girl.
Oh, I was hoping she
I like the fullness on Kat. Not too much.
That wig is but yeah, she definitely gave me pick me. And what I will say is, you want to call Jessica combative if the shoe fits weird, basically, right? But what about your friend who came very combative at Herbert? Are you going to call her and her wig, that terrible wig, combative? I don't think you will. So yeah, Kat definitely gave
right. When Alley Kat first stepped on the scene, she was like, "Now be on your best behavior today," exactly. And I was like, "Oh, she gonna be a problem."
Oh my God, Alley Kat! I forgot about that. They shouldn't have put that on TV. Yikes!
Oh, Harold says, "Isn't it ironic that both Chris's presented their representatives? Disappointing to say the least, because I liked both initially."
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, this is my friend, good friend of mine, Quay. What's going on, Quay? I wonder if this culture has anything to do with it. Either way, if a person doesn't have the characteristics you want, then just move on. I agree. I don't understand. I'm just lost on why, and we'll discuss it, but I'm just like, I don't understand the energy that was given. Like, I promise you, I'm so cool. If somebody falls back on me, or somebody wants to ghost me, or somebody wants to dip out, friendship, relationship, anything, I'm like, okay, and life will go on. And I don't have the energy just to be getting all rah-rah with people. So
I think she didn't give him the energy he wanted, and so it just he was like a toddler almost.
Oh, definitely. Especially the way his face was all twisted up. Like, after, I was like, oh wow. Kat should have caught a ride back with Sierra. Yep.
Yes.
Harold says, I'm not sleeping in anybody's bunk bed at any current age. They weren't even comfortable when we were kids. Yeah, that wasn't my experience, unless I went over to like a few houses, and it was not my favorite either, especially depending on where you were placed. What about you guys?
Even Shannon is a big axe. Like, no.
Yeah,
it's bad enough we all in the same house.
Right. They didn't have enough rooms. Y'all all in the same room together?
My kids got bunk beds. It's that little thin mattress. Ain't nothing under there. There's no support. It's all that.
But also, your kids are under the age of 10, right? They little. Right. These 40-year-old men.
Back hurting.
Harold said, not my fave, Katarina, male identified, a pick me, say it ain't so. Yeah, it hurts me as well, because I was definitely rooting for Kat early on. I didn't think she would have to go out like this.
She's definitely going out like something.
I don't know. She's not the only one. I'll defend Kat. She's not the only one grasping at straws here. I mean,
Lee is too.
Yeah, everybody is. Maurier. I mean, I feel like the only people that are locked in, packed or not, is Janelle and Q.
And Aries and Phil, semi.
Child,
Oh,
Aries.
about them, yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Aries said something, and I was like, okay, I see what it is.
Yeah. Maurier and Jessica have a conversation, and I don't know why, but Maurier seems to now feel like he is, he should fix things with Jessica because she is his top connection, and he is ready to resolve things and work through things. And Jessica basically says, to the left, everything you own in a box to the left. She does not trust him, and to that effect, she doesn't trust anyone in the house. How did you guys feel about this moment?
I can understand why she doesn't trust him. She knew it was Chris, so I'm like, why is Maria catching all this heat? But at this point, that's when I was like, well, girl, if you don't trust nobody, ask them, please let me go. Like, eliminate me. Like, let me free.
You know what? I would be really interested to see, and I don't know how that would work, but since they can't self-eliminate, like, how far would they have to go to make the men eliminate them? Like, I've seen that on sitcom episodes. They were like, I'm gonna really go out of my way to, like, really make myself unappealing.
Against a fight.
I was gonna say fight, but they were gonna let Tappahannock, what's the girl name? Taekwondo. I don't remember her name. T. They let her come back. Tequila. They let her come back.
Tappaquitics. I don't know what you said before.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter.
Just like Sierra can get her name.
They let her come back, so you can fight if you want. You coming back? They're gonna bring you right back.
I was fine with how Jessica felt, but then when we got later on and she was like, we cool, we solid, I was like, wait, I'm confusion because you just have said, like, I don't trust nobody, we like basically go our separate ways. And then I was like,
yeah. But she said we could go our separate ways. I was just like, then who's your connection then?
Nobody.
Like, go your separate way and just leave. Like, it's painful to watch. I'd rather see Kat walking around.
Yeah, I think Brandy agrees. She said, I didn't see why Maurier caught the strays. He just delivered the message. To me, the reaction to it didn't kind of seem disproportionate. I mean, obviously, I get that it pours salt on the wound, but I mean, and there are plenty of reasons she could just cut Maurier off, but it just cut for it to be that specific thing. I'm like, there are other things that are questionable about Maurier.
Okay.
Other than that, so I thought that was an odd place to put that.
He was already cut off when she was on that yoga mat. Like, she was stretching. She already was like, listen, I'm going to bed and I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah. I think it was because he didn't protect her in that moment. Like, yes, deliver the message, but you could edit some of this stuff out. Don't just, you know what I mean? That's like hearing information about your best friend and then coming back and being like, and saying it in front of everybody. Girl, they called you a bitch. They said this, that, and the third. Like, you probably don't want to say all of that in front of everybody because it's.
Yeah. I feel like put him on blast, put Chris on blast in front of everybody. Let me know.
Now that's what
put him on blast, like good.
So I will say that I understood where she was coming from, because if you guys notice, everybody was checking on Maurier and not her. When Maurier left that room, everybody was checking on him. And I'm like, why are y'all checking on Maurier? I get that everybody's coming down on him, but this is the one that's feeling offended by the word. Can we say, Jessica, we don't feel, all of us don't feel that. They did say that, but damn, y'all, I'll just go run after Maurier. I just thought that was odd.
No, I agree. And now that I'm thinking about it, damn, probably because they don't like her. They lump her in with Janelle. So, which isn't right. It's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So next we see Phil, Quinton, and Chris out fishing, and we find out that Quinton is allergic to seafood, which I personally found very painful because seafood has been a very significant and pivotal part of my life. And I really can't imagine what my experience could be if I couldn't have shrimp, fish, scallops, like crab legs, lobster. Like, oh, and I just had a seafood boil the other night too. Like, that hurts me. But it also did not help that Quinton didn't know what he was doing at all. I'm not saying I'm an expert fisher, but I know how to get the job done. And him dropping the fishing line and then swinging the thing around, almost hooking Lee in her head. And I guess he finally succeeded in hooking a tiny fish. But I mean, he still did it. So yeah, and he got cheered on by the rest of the ladies once they made their way out. And when Lee decides to help Quinton remove said fish, we suddenly hear, "Hey, you just caught fish? You already know. You better do your thing. I already know how I do. We eating good tonight. Yeah, we eating good tonight." I said, now what? What kind of Chitlin Circuit stage play nonsense is this? That whole interaction was, I don't even know what to say. Belle, you can start us off.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. That's all I was like, come on. We all know what it is. All the ladies know what it is. It's marking your territory. And it was just painfully obvious. Like, girl, if he really wants you, just he'll come back. I promise. He right, yeah. It's not that serious.
Had she been out there helping him, then I mean she wouldn't have to worry about Lee helping him so he don't have an allergic reaction. But
right. Which what the hell was he doing out there anyway? If you allergic, fool, go in the house. We be just doing anything for a scene.
And wash no hands and just.
Kira.
I was like, is he spinning a block for Lee? Because I thought he wrote her off like episodes ago. And then I thought it was Kat last week that was trying to talk to Q, but then they was outside before she said, "Hey, babe." I was like, oh, so the workout, did that make him like her again? I was so confused. And then she looked annoyed when she started screaming from the house. I was like, Lee, I thought y'all was done. I thought you was with Chris. I was just the whole thing was confusing. I was like, okay.
Which one of you all said musical chairs? Was that you, Kira? Yeah, that is accurate. Shayna.
No, I would have been annoyed with Janelle too, whether I like Q or not, because girl, it's always giving auntie and nephew every time I see them. Like, what is this? Like, oh, little Timmy, you got a fish? Oh, eat good tonight, ain't we? Like, ugh, girl. I was like, where is it? I ain't hear no accent or nothing the whole time. So she came out and did that, and then she got her legs spread. It was like the stance, like,
yeah.
Like, and she had that dress on, that auntie house dress.
Them bows around the shoulders. Her wig was just sliding to farther and farther back. Like, can we just
slide to the back?
Get back to the house. You've been gone the whole time, looking from the windows like a creep. Like, oh, it's talking to Lee. You caught a fish out there, ain't you? Girl,
yes, auntie needed to go back in her house and get
like, I sure did, like a little proud nephew. I did it, auntie. like you got a participation award. Like, okay, can we let the little fish free and go back on with our day? I don't even know if anybody else caught a fish. Who cares? Like, the moment was ruined at that point.
It really was.
It was.
It was.
So I will say it was very cringe when she came out there screaming, "Hey, babe!" I'm like, "Oh my god, girl, why? What is this?" So I will say I was just watching Kojo's video because he did a video earlier today, and Katarina was in his comments, and she was saying that the editing was off, that she wasn't saying that she had a connection with Quinton. I'm like, well, That's how they played you up. Like you had a connection with Quinton. So if the shoe fits. Now, when she said we gonna eat tonight, I was like, girl, how y'all gonna eat off of that one little bitty fish? What are y'all gonna eat? The bones? Because that fish ain't feeding nobody, and the damn sure wouldn't feed me.
Mm-mm.
And I love fish as much as I love seafood as much as the next person. And that little baby fish, one gonna feed nothing.
She just had to just come out there and do something. Her in that dress.
Janelle likes
Hey, babe. Sorry, I'm reading the comments.
She loves them. I think Janelle likes a moment. And I told Jessica that I'm like, when it comes to Janelle, and I told her, I'm like, Janelle may be a sweet person, right? But Janelle and I told Jessica this because we talked about the editing. I said, y'all, she may not be who she is, may not be this mean person. She may be a sweet person, but she gave it to the cameras. They can't put words in your mouth. They can't put any actions on you. If you give it to them, yes, they can cut and paste things. I said that, but she gave it to them. Unfortunately, I said you didn't give it to them, but she absolutely gave them the mean girl, the jealous girl from the jealous girls. If Quinn picks her in the end, you better learn how to sleep with one eye open and the other one closed, because she's giving she's just giving like what's her name from a thin line between. She's giving a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah. And I feel like, but she told us when she came in that she has attachment issues. She gets jealous or whatever. I feel like she don't even really want Quinton. It's just the principle that every time she just wants to win. Same thing like with Sassy Red. She ain't talked to him since.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That the attention wasn't on her. Like she can't stand it. It's more about Lee minding her business than it was about him. But the way she went about it, like, girl, can we please stop looking around that window?
Self-respect.
Last week he was on the grill. Every time he cooking, here she go looking outside. Get out there with him. I mean, if you don't want to exercise, like participate in something.
Yeah, Harold said, have y'all ever seen Fatal Attraction? Janelle's giving Black Glenn close vibes with her overprotection of Hugh popping out of the bushes on him, and the other lady's like a peeping Tom.
Right. Mm-hmm. He just acts like he's terrified of her, like he's so afraid. Like, at this point, I wouldn't talk to him no more if I was anybody else, any of the other ladies. Like, stop talking to him, please.
So I just want to be clear. Does everyone know what this reference is from? This other thing that Harold, because I know what it is. Nobody?
Is it a Real Housewives reference? Because I don't know.
So am I the only one who knows?
Tell us, Z.
Yeah, this is when OG and Evelyn were going at it on Basketball Wives.
I didn't watch this season.
And OG was basically pulling the receipts out on Ocho Cinco, trying to talk to her, because Evelyn tried to basically insinuate that OG, because she's dark skinned and has distinct African Black features, that that she would be too ugly for for Ocho Cinco to talk to her. And then she was like, okay, well, what about this? And literally on the text, you can see where he's like, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe, and that's how she was reading it off. So anyway, I caught that, but he also was making fun of Janelle as far as the energy.
Yeah, that was a season I didn't watch.
I didn't either. I stopped watching.
But I can't even believe it's still on. Like a new
I've been in and out of Basketball Wives for years.
Yeah, I mean, I gave up on Love and Hip Hop and came back, but Basketball Wives, I can't do. I can't. No can do.
Basketball Wives is like the roach that refuses to die. You think you killed it, and you somehow finds a way to like skittle on like past you again. I was like, stop this. And on top of that, I just found out they're doing a Basketball Wives Orlando.
Yeah, are they trying? They're trying to revive it. It's like on life support, and
it is
by any means. Like
none of the women are like their wives.
I watched the last season and it wasn't too bad, but now they're bringing back Evelyn. I'm like, I cannot do.
No,
last season was horrible for me because I reviewed this last season and I hated every moment of doing it.
I just didn't want to see Evelyn, so I was like, as long as she's not there, I was like, okay, I'll stomach it.
Because Basketball Wives still gives Mean Girls, and those women are well into their late 30s and early 40s. Right. People have come to me and say, but JB, you watch Love and Hip Hop and you do Real Housewives. I was like, with Real Housewives, those women don't act like that. And with Love and Hip Hop, it's fake. It's scripted.
Exactly.
I know that stuff is not all real. Minus the stuff that happened with Erica Mena. That's real. But other than that.
Yeah, I think Atlanta has more realness going on to it than Miami. Not to go off on a tangent on other shows. Miami don't even try. They be like, "What's my script line?"
Yeah, I was gonna say, and Shayna, and I mean, she's still doing the reviews with Shayna and all, but giving up on that. So she's like, okay, what's the episode name? What's the episode number? Huh? Okay, y'all gonna get
notes.
We say you don't take no notes, track up.
Whatever comes to mind, that's it.
Yeah, it's not great, so I understand.
Basketball Wives Orlando, Vashandia, please. Oh my God. I forgot her name was Vashandia.
Yes, Vashandia. You don't know who Vashandia is?
Shawnee and her nose.
Shawnee.
Oh, I didn't know it was Vashandia. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Vashandia. Yep.
I see why she went with Shiny. I mean, I know about I think Portia is the one who told me the last time. What was it, Malaysia? What was her real name again? Lakeisha, right? We were trying to find out what Kira's real name was. It was Lakeisha. I think Vashandia though. Like what?
And you know what Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, you know what her first name is?
It's not Michelle.
I thought it was Michelle.
It's Tanitra.
That's not bad. I think that's actually more fitting for her.
It is.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but I think they said Matthew Knowles made her change it.
He was like, absolutely not.
Well, it's not like a middle name or anything. It's just an alias.
It might be.
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Beyonce, but she can't be whatever. What's her name? Aretha?
Isn't Beyonce like a spin on Tina's maiden name or something like that?
It is.
Beyonce just pops it. Well, that's what he wants her to be a star. Michelle need to play the back. She can't be having all these creative.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's what that is. I mean, not that Michelle was gonna be the star anyway, but I'm sorry. That's what they do.
Or just finding out that light-skinned Keisha's name is not
Samantha.
I was like,
she always tells that story of she was the lightest Keisha, which I'm like, how dark would the other
skin girl? Skin Keisha.
Dark, like please, it's an identity crisis. And now your name wasn't even Keisha to begin with. You could have been Sammy. You could have been Sammy the whole time.
Right. Exactly. I don't know what happened to
we done lost the host.
Right. I didn't take no notes yet.
That's okay. Okay. So where were we? We were
talking about Janelle.
I don't remember. Yeah. When they caught Janelle when she. Oh, here you go.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Ish. I think that's when Chris came out at that next scene with them those slides.
Yes. Slipper. Somebody asked if he did he just buy shoes on the way there and then just gave it to whoever would fit the shoes.
How did he get her size? I mean, I know they claim they talk on the phone so much, but I don't believe it.
Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Somebody on Twitter asked the same thing, and a producer responded back. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
I was gonna say, hey Portia, my bad. I'm trying to facilitate. I feel like I keep getting off track, but yes, thank you for stopping through. I always appreciate you hopping in the comments. And yes, I also hope that Q doesn't have a bunny because we all know how that turned out if you've seen Fatal Attraction.
Ooh. Oof.
Yeah, Harold, you do, but so do I, because you see, I was the only one to catch that reference. So we see each other.
You still watching Basketball Wives? You do watch a little.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is I already saw through Shawnee years ago. I remember stuff from the second season that people completely forgot about. And so, the way people would go for it, I'm just like, I don't know. People were just falling for the banana in the tailpipe with a lot of those women. I was just like, okay. And so to me, when the other stuff with Evelyn and the colorism, I'm like, this was already evident early on. And evident with how Shawnee and some of the other stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm glad y'all just now figured it out. But this is not
y'all late to the party.
Yeah.
Very late.
It was a treatment of Tammy for me.
Yeah. Even before Tammy got on, I still was like, something about her.
Oh yeah, I was like, what is this? It's like
I used to like Jessica, or I used to, I guess, feel bad for her with that knothead husband of hers. But now I'm just like, see it for her. Even with her getting engaged to whoever that is, I'm like, that's not enough to make me come back. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like an F boy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and with the auntie and nephew, like, how old is he?
Well, I was gonna say, Belle, it's funny you said he looks like an F boy because people in the Shade Room comments were saying something else very different.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say what it is, but
no, that's all right because we already filled in the blank, so I know.
Yeah.
We already filled in the blank. We got it.
It's giving storyline anyway, so it don't much matter.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so oh yes, yes, and I totally agree. Same with you, Portia. Like we have a good time with these comments, and you guys are watching. Thank you for hanging in with us. I am enjoying the conversation. I hope you guys are as well. Feel free to like and thumbs up the video. It still feels very weird saying that because I feel like I never say it, but I'm trying to work on that being a part of my YouTube verbiage. So yes, feel free to like the stream so you can bump us up with this ridiculous algorithm that is YouTube. Yes, Chris, the sandals. He's talking about the beauty in Lee's heart and how it shines. He gives her these sandals, and you know he's very excited. Maybe it was just me, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like the undercurrent, maybe not, but I feel like the undercurrent of that moment was I have things I can offer you financially, and maybe that's why Lee got excited because that's something that she does want, and you guys have mentioned that before. So I was kind of like, yeah, there was some subliminals I was catching from that moment personally.
That's his personality, though, it seems. Because even when he spoke to Aries, it was like, I can give you more of what you need. Like, besides finances, what else? Like, you're not offering foot rubs by the minute. Is it personality? What else?
Sorry, JB, go ahead.
I'm gonna read you guys a tweet that I tweeted tonight. So I said, Lee, baby girl, don't fall for that. And then I said, oh my gosh, she's too giddy. So then she tweeted me back and she said, I'm always going to show appreciation for people going out of their way for me. He didn't have to give me anything. I don't think it was something that he really meant to give you. I think he had that. And I think Chris is looking for a number. I'm going to jump ahead just for a quick second because at the end when he was with Jessica, he was in his interview. He said he had 3 connections. Did you guys catch that? He had 3. Chris was playing a numbers game. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
Ever since they started mentioning numbers on this, because I feel like the first season or 2, that wasn't a thing. Ever since they started doing it, it's like that's all y'all care about. These so-called connections, you're just trying to win against a game.
Which would make more sense as to why Kat is being so thirsty right now.
Especially if they won't give her an out. Like now she just has to sit there and suffer. Hey, Chloe.
Girl, we ready to we ain't got to it yet, but we gonna talk about it
on time.
We are getting close, yes.
Him wearing that damn eyeliner.
Not the eye.
Y'all ain't see that eyeliner? The waterline, the eyeliner.
We already talked about his toupee, so we don't want to do not too much. Not too much. We talked about the eyeliner last week. We on the toupee this week.
Shane, are you on Twitter?
Yeah, we looking for where's the tweet top?
I am. I don't really be on it. I only post I just share my video or my reviews and leave. I did. I don't be. Y'all be talking about JB, especially. He'd be like, such and such responded back to me. Randy said last week, so and so responded back to me. I'd be like, see,
it's not bad.
That's with nobody. I don't want to nobody.
I was gonna say, don't forget about Belle getting her Big Bird energy tweet. That's still
oh yeah. She retweeted. Did she retweet it back or reply? I think she replied.
Who?
Tequila.
Tequila.
Janelle came at me about her boots.
See,
when?
You remember the episode of the Hold Down when she had those black and white boots on? I said her boots didn't match anything. So she quote retweeted me, said, "The hell it don't." And she showed me a picture of her whole entire outfit. I was like, well, shit. On the show, it didn't look like it matched anything you had on. So, sorry. But she came at me about them boots.
Ooh.
She was pissed about them boots.
The only boost that stood out to me was Kira's. See, I get on there because I'd be responding to comments. Like, Twitter seemed like they like
it's a fun time.
It is.
It's the Wild Wild West.
Everybody's pretty much shady.
It's giving the trenches over there a little bit, just a little bit.
It's fun.
I totally agree, Portia. That is, people still quote that to this day. At least folks who saw that season, as frustrating as it was to watch. Do you remember that, JD?
I didn't watch that season, but I do remember. Sorry, but I do remember that line because it was all over social media.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even folks who didn't watch it, like,
isn't that when Evelyn patted her?
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Yeah,
yeah.
That same season.
And then I remember everybody saying, well, Ocho stinks
bushes
or something like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's where the little hey babe thing was. Yeah.
When she got pushed in the bushes.
If I have to be your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week, it doesn't matter all the things you can buy me. I want a partner.
Exactly.
Let them know.
And that's what Lee is failing to understand. Hey, Tammy.
Tammy.
Yeah, her, they did be
I haven't watched the episode yet, but popping in to be nosy. Well, we appreciate you popping in, Tammy.
Hang on, girl. We got to talk about this mess.
Yeah, we're about to get to the hot tea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He had eyeliner on in his waterline in the confessional.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all look real close, it was in the waterline. Y'all know how y'all do your waterline.
You know, sometimes they make men wear, well, I don't know if they care about all that.
Not in the waterline. They might do the under eye, but he had like, it was in his waterline. I was like, okay.
Well, now I will give Janelle, I guess I could try to give her a little olive branch where it's like where she was going off on that live. Maybe it was because of the response that Chris gave Jessica. Maybe that's why she decided to try to out him.
Okay. But,
Yeah. So in keeping with what Harold said, JB, do you be like subbing these folks, or just be trying to like get some stuff popping in these Twitter streets, or do they just look at you and just happen across your tweets?
They just happen to come across my tweets. Every last person that tweets me, they just happen to find it because I don't ever add anybody. I've been blocked by so many people on Twitter, and I've never added them a day. Like Jackie Christie has blocked me. Taylor from Vanderpump Rules has blocked me. Claudia Jordan has blocked me. She found a tweet that I tweeted about her. I'm like, girl, I didn't even add you. You search for me, the Ready to Love cast. They just happen to scroll down the timeline and find me. The Love and Marriage franchise cast. They find me on social media.
Are you using the hashtags or?
Yeah. Some of them is the hashtags, and some of them is just I just be tweeting random stuff about them, right? And they just find me, and like out of all the tweets you could find, you find me.
Right. That's probably right. Tammy said they searched themselves. That's
exactly what it is. Even the Potomac Housewives, because Mia's come at me because I said something about her feet being big, and they're big.
What is she?
They're big.
These people do.
What is she saying?
They're big.
Because these people out. They don't like that.
They do search themselves because I tweeted something about Letitia on the first season of Belle Collective. I don't even remember what I said, but she responded. I was like, "Oh, Jesus!"
What did she say?
She just responded or whatever I said. I know one time her husband had said something about a contract or a coupon, and I was like,
yeah, the contract about them.
He was like laughing, but. Yeah, they'll come up under your comments. I was like,
she came under mine because I talked about her wig.
Latrice's wig? You talking about Latrice's wig?
Letitia's wig. So this interview wig that she has on, it look like it's just soft on her forehead.
Yes.
I was like, we need a better wig, sis, because this one is just not it. Like, just take her and throw her in the fires and pits of hell and burn her.
I'm surprised she responded because she herself said, "Look, I've been laying my wigs down myself. I've been watching YouTube tutorials.
We can tell. We can
She takes
tell.
accountability." Like,
Yeah, all the Bells have tweeted me this season. So Gucci, Marie, Essie, every last one of them have found me, and
S with
most
the
of them love. Most of the Bells
like
like me.
white diamonds. S with the Ness responded.
Yeah.
She was on in one episode.
Yeah, that was the episode she responded to me about too, when she was with Marie.
Yeah.
That
What
was the
did she
episode she
say?
responded to. So I responded about her mom passing away and how I empathize with that because mine passed away as well. So she responded to me about that. Marie even tweeted me about when I talked about her Abraham Lincoln wig.
Bells own they bag because Marie owned that too. Marie owned it. Well, I guess what else?
She tweeted me about the Abraham Lincoln wig, and she tweeted me about the shortcut blonde bob wig. I was like, I hate that wig. I'm like, this wig is ugly as hell. And she just gave me one of them emojis. I'm like, sis, it's ugly. Who told you to wear that? Who purchased that?
That was from Marie Monroe.
Yeah.
Well, Marie Monroe used to go somewhere
I don't
down
get
the road.
I'm not mad at folks changing their hair color, but the platinum stark, like that ashy, like white blonde, I'm like, that's a lot. You
The
doing?
finger waves fit her. I think the finger waves is like her look.
That's what I said. I said the finger waves are better for you, but
They look great on her.
Yeah, I like those finger waves.
But everybody's wigs on that show is trash. I said Amber wears too much hair.
JB.
It's not that bad.
At least I speak the truth.
Latrice wig.
Yeah, Latrice's aren't bad.
Yeah.
Well, no. Latrice's interview wig is not that one interview wig is
Oh, you talking about the bob?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because the part is just not it.
Yeah. I got you.
She's got to typically stay on point because she's selling the hair, especially after Marie tried to tear her down season 1 and say she had bad quality hair.
Yeah, she
Oh my God. Her
bought the wig and then showed up in that Southern Belle outfit. Talking about this is some bull. And like that.
Did Marie say that she sells wigs too? Like, who knew?
Yes.
Which I have you seen one of them? Have you seen any of them?
I'd rather buy Kim Zolciak wig.
Oh,
Yeah, now you are.
I would rather buy
I'm over here talking about people. Hold on, let me get my shit together.
Zolciak can put her wigs up for sale, just threw them on a mannequin.
That's why I said I'd rather buy Kim's wig.
I say,
Marie Monroe.
used
Oh
and
my God, y'all, they is eating.
So that's
people
why they
up
come.
in-
That's why they find a lot of them do search themselves and they just want to say something to me, and I'm like, I got time. I got time today. That's why some of the Ready to Love cast can't stand me. The men, more specifically. Most of the men hate me from Ready to Love.
well, I want to hear what you got to say about this man. Now,
He's gonna hate me.
the Bells on season 3. They wigs on stepped it up a couple of notches. They on point.
Really?
Not Amber's. She still has to be bundles.
That's right. Belle didn't see season 1. Yes.
Or 2.
Or 2. Oh, yeah, they stepped it up a lot.
I was gonna say I remember watching that first season. I'm like, look, I don't know a whole lot about
First season
I don't know a whole lot about makeup or hair, but I was looking at it, I was like, I don't think I should be able to notice some of the stuff.
The budget be low on them first seasons.
Okay.
House was low too. You know, if you go back to
You remember when Letitia literally tugged on the lace old girl in the middle of the one scene?
the one that got off after season 1, the dentist.
Yep, the doctor, she literally was like, oh, okay, well, if you can talk about me, I can yank on your face.
But she was on point. I don't know why
She was semi.
Yeah, she was on for season 1. She was on point.
Semi on point.
JB don't do. He don't. Goodness.
I don't play about the
got
wig.
both feet on their necks.
I don't care about the wig. I like if you're gonna wear a wig, I don't want it to look like I don't want to know that it's a wig. I'm sorry. I just don't want to
right.
the wig.
So you're not here for the Independence Day wigs, like Harold just said?
Oh no.
Portia,
Give it back to Father Time.
We're not here for the founding.
God, I can't.
Give it back to Father Time.
I'm dead.
Oh God.
Because where were we?
I'm following.
Okay, let me get.
Oh yeah, because we really not.
You see how we talking about everything but the show. Okay,
Can we get to like?
Yeah, let's rope it in.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
nothing
The meat
really
and potatoes
happened.
and then the mess, y'all.
Okay. Last thing I'm gonna say. I was confused as to how Kat and Maurier were having a first time date when the show is about to be over. And I was like, and the only reason you're here is because Jessica effectively kicked you to the curb. I'm like, why are we doing this like this is the beginning of the season? That really threw me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We busted out with them stones. I was just like, I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know if I trust it. like something about him, I just don't trust. I feel like Jessica, there's something about you. I don't know.
All of the dates were off to me because I think everybody had alluded to in some way, shape, or form that they hadn't seen that person since the getaway. This is their first date, or they hadn't heard from them. So people are really not contacting. They're really not in real conversation with each other like they should be if they really were interested in one another. I feel like I heard bits and pieces from every person who went on a date on the episode that alluded to that they don't really talk like that. So I'm over it.
Well, Lee said, and I hate that they go on these interviews when the season's still going on. Like the producers need to stop that. They need to put a stop to that. But she said that she was talking to Chris all the time, and I'm like, we don't see y'all talk ever. I don't believe it. There's no chemistry. Like you want the sandals. She was like, oh, thank you. Like no hug, no nothing. Like no familiarity. Like
I didn't see what brand of sandals were they again.
I couldn't tell.
Well, there wasn't no.
They didn't look name brand.
I thought I was gonna see a red bottom somewhere, and I saw a zero.
That's what I also did.
Name drop.
I don't know.
Some old lady sandals.
You gonna give me some gladiator sandals?
You sure it wasn't Tory Burch?
Well, let me. You know what? I'm gonna go back and look. I mean, at least be somebody's name.
You want him to give some name brand sandals? Like he don't even hardly know this person.
Don't give me Walmart.
Yes.
The sandals.
But the point is to try to like show that he can provide so that you can be his
That's
servant.
why he needs to stop leading. Yeah, he needs to stop leading.
Yes.
Like, don't give me Walmart brand sandals. Like, oh, I thought about you. No.
I guess he said ain't nobody else giving gifts. Oh, well, Mario did get that candle that time.
Oh, and he gave a little stone. He gave out his little stones.
But he said those are the stones he always told around. I don't want something that you've been using every day when you out dashing.
So Shayna said, I want your old sweaty musty stone.
Right. You be picking up pizzas and everything else. No, I want your DoorDash stones. I want my fresh stones.
Not DoorDash.
Because I do believe he do DoorDash. Somebody he get up in that 1 o'clock in the
afternoon. 11 and 9. What kind of work do you do, sir?
What kind of work? Okay.
Allegedly.
Exactly. What kind of work do you do?
Because I have to be at 8 o'clock in the morning.
The only thing that I got from it was at the end when Janelle says something about like the least connections that she was saying Chris. I gathered, I'm like, do they all just date each other and see if it works? Do they all, and then whoever, like,
that's kind of
felt very random. Like, oh, y'all just,
it's like speed dating, kind of.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. I was like, I didn't even think that y'all, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Him and them newborn waves.
Yeah, he got good texture hair. See, now y'all got me defended. I was about to say Gerald over. No,
you know what? Well, first, Brandy and I
defending everybody today.
Trying to make us believe these women are even going after Maurier, and I think some of you would agree with that. Because I'm a little off as to what the appeal is. Because to me, I just feel like Maurier just shows up like, and he shows up in the same variation. I feel like he
shows up like what, D?
Huh?
What was it? What you just do? Do it again with the notes.
I feel like Maurier just shows up like, and he shows up in the same polo, same pants, same shoes, same low effort, bare minimum effort, and like showing up like Taurus Moon said with the newborn waves. I don't know what else to say.
So I'll shed a little light on the product on this. So Shayna, you've asked me this: when did they film this show? So I can definitively tell you they filmed it in March, right? So it took them 4 weeks to film this season. That's why it doesn't. No one has any connections. It was only a 4-week process, so you can't make a connection with someone in 4 weeks. So that's why when they were asking about kissing people, that's why I believe that they said that I'm not going to kiss somebody I just met 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I wonder if they always do 4 weeks though, because I feel like it's always like it's Joy and Clifton and got married off of them 4 weeks.
That's what I was wondering if it was Joy and Clifton, because I was thinking about Joy and Clifton, but I mean Joy was just stuck on that man from the day she met him.
Yeah, they was drinking off each other's cups and straws on the first night.
Yeah, so that I'm not shocked about, but yet it was only 4 weeks and they filmed in March. So when you ask what was the weather, it's hot as hell in Texas in March. So I don't know what they were dressed, why they were dressing in, long sleeves and all that kind of stuff, because it's hot.
All the denim, it's hard to tell.
So yeah, in the morning times it's probably cool in Dallas and Texas in March, but in the afternoon when they probably film this stuff, it's hot.
That makes sense.
And they're probably sweating.
So and speaking of sweating, Belle seems to be throwing out that Maurier is unwashed, and I don't know why. I don't know why she took it there, but I'm gonna let
her own comment. I didn't even see that. Well, who said that?
He just wear them same shirts.
But he does.
Like he seemed like he
puts no effort into his outfits, because I've tweeted that many times. Like Maurier just comes in whatever the hell he just say. F it.
Yes,
that's just his style.
I guess those suspenders.
Go away. Yeah. Go away, right?
Herbert had on a hoodie last time, and I'm like,
all he needs is the bow tie.
I can't. Oshkosh bagage. When he had that one thing off, I'm like, sir, what is this?
I can't defend that.
He's always, I feel like he's always chilling, laying in his seat. Like he's bored.
That's exactly how he sits. That is exactly how he sits.
Shayna, I can't defend that.
Yeah, I've been trying tonight. I've been punching the air,
but okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move it forward. The deliberation, it comes down to Maurier and it comes down to Chris. Now, let me say this: when they showed who was walking up to meet with Chris, I was actually shocked, because I had this whole discourse, gave all these disclaimers, because there are certain things I don't agree with. And I was like, okay, well, we all kind of agree. Like, if it's Janelle, well, yeah, we'll
maybe, because the ladies did get into a little tongue tussle and I normally don't care about the deliberation, but they was kind of going at it. Lee and who was it? And Jessica.
Oh, I actually forgot about that. Yes. Oh, yeah, that was real. That got real tense out of nowhere. Yeah, Jessica and Lee, and what did you guys make of that interaction? Because it did get real. That's probably the most vocal I've seen Lee be.
When she said her confessional that Jessica was just jealous that he didn't want her, like, girl, what? Like, how did you pick that up? Like, did I miss something? Because what?
She thought she was mad about her Old Navy sandals. That's why, because she ain't getting no Old Navy sandals.
Maybe it's misdirected anger. Maybe she really is just like feeling the way with Janelle. She just taking it out on Jessica. I don't know. It just didn't make sense.
Okay, do you think what Jessica said about the whole, I guess, not buying me nothing, or what? Do you think that was actually shade towards Lee, or was that just a coincidence?
I think it was shade. I love Jessica, but it was shade, boo. It was definitely shade. And I caught it.
Yeah. I will say Jessica has been shady a time or two with the ladies. Not with the men. That's I'm surprised the men are complaining so much. But she has been a little shady with the women here and there.
Yeah, it was a little shady. But I didn't like the fact that the women were saying, oh, well, Chris said he didn't say it. He definitely said it. Yeah. And Maurier repeated it. So why are we gaslighting her at this point? Because that's really what we're doing. It was Katarina's pick me behind, and then Lee. He didn't say, yes, and Aries chimed in. I'm like, yes, he did say it.
Yeah.
He's just not. What I said is he's very cowardly, and he couldn't repeat it. If you feel that she's so combative, say it to her.
They played 3 clips of him saying it. Like, ain't no denying this.
Play it with your chest. I do have one thing we skipped over. Aries' concern about Phil. It sounds like he don't have no job.
Oh yeah. So maybe Kara was right in thinking like he's unstable.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a claims adjuster or something. I thought it was like
He said that at one point. So I will say, because I am a claims adjuster, and he does independent. From what he said, he does independent work. So they have spouts where they may have, work, and they may not have work because they don't actually work for an actual insurance company. So they just have. So he said he's I think he's a catastrophe. So those people they make their money when it comes to like storms, let me put it this way, natural disasters. They make their money that way. If there's no natural disaster, they ain't got no job.
So maybe he does have a job, but it's just the work is slow at the moment.
Yeah, because like with the hurricanes and stuff, they make a whole lot of. They make more than what I actually make in my profession. They make more than me, and they make that in about maybe 6 months or so. Because that's what he said. If they make about if they're good at it, they can make up to which maybe even 100,000 in 6 months.
So I feel like that's okay if you're making that in that time frame. I guess maybe in his downtime, she wants him to do something else.
Maybe because if he does that, he has money. The question is he good with his money?
Yeah, she seemed fine with him until her friends pointed out that Chris is the one talking about paying the bills and Phil is not. So now all of a sudden it's like, do you have a job? So they need to stop talking about Bay Area music and have some more serious conversations.
Yeah.
So Taurus Moon says Jessica has no connections. Do y'all really think she likes Mr. Uber Eats?
Not Mr. Uber Eats.
No.
Nope. No. I don't think anyone likes anyone.
No. Okay. So, anything else you guys want to mention before we jump forward to the shenanigans of at the end of the episode? Okay.
Do we even need to talk about Maurier? Like, can we just skip to the
Well, we've kind of discussed how dry, bland, and blah. Just
his date, his eliminate.
Yeah.
He was with Aries. That was pretty.
That was random.
Lackluster. Underwhelmed.
Can I say something really quickly? I wish they would stop doing the whole, well, I think that you are. And I'm just like, please, like, just stop this. Just say it and get it over with. Mm-hmm. That gets on my nerves.
Especially because they might, they good for a cliffhanger. They might need them to break it up in case that's a cliffhanging moment.
No.
Oh, gosh.
We're tired of cliffhangers at this point.
No.
Because it just drags this season out more and more and more.
It never does anything. Like this, when Sierra got eliminated, it was like, y'all could have really threw that in last week. Like, what was the wait?
Honestly, they could have combined at least, well, I'm being nice, but I'll say at least 3 to 5, even though it could have been more than that. They could have chopped up 3 to 5 of those episodes into like 1 hour and a half episodes, and then just condensed all that other stuff, and then shortened the
episode. Dallas does not need a season 2. Dallas has probably been the worst season.
The stupidest thing with that OWN did last weekend, because I caught it, but I had already DM'd Jessica and I said, friend, I hope that man wasn't talking to you. So she said he definitely was. I was like, I don't know, you fucking lying. Mm-hmm. So then I went on Twitter. Somebody had tweeted the clip of this week's episode, and they specifically showed Jessica's face. I was like, what was the purpose of y'all doing the cliffhanger if y'all gonna show us that it was Jessica he's talking to? So we know Sierra was gone.
That's not the first time they did that. Like, why do y'all who's dropping the ball?
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they
put it on my community tab.
I did see. I think I saw it on your community tab.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you know. What that's basically the name of the show at this point, Portia. Ready to go along to get along. It's not love. It's nothing. Shoot, it's not even lust. Like even lust would be more interesting. It's just like ready to go along to get along, and that's about it. And I agree. The Maury Povich dramatic pause. Maury used to be a whole experience when I was growing up. The stuff I saw on that show, and I'm not just talking about the paternity stuff. Everybody knows it because of that, but they used to have a whole lot going on. Maury.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was shocked. I have to admit when I realized because I saw Jessica walking in, and I saw her sit down. I was like, and I noticed the surroundings. I was like, no. Because I really had it in my mind that it was Janelle. And so when he went walking in, I was like, then I was trying to figure out, like, how could we have gone, like, what could have gone so left in this conversation that he could have gotten to that point? Well, the answer is absolutely, positively
Nothing.
It did seem like they edited out something because the transition just wasn't smooth. Like, what did I say to disrespect you? You don't know nothing about me. Like, what? How do we? Like, wait a minute. Like,
but if you looked at him, his lips were pursing at one point. His lips, when she started talking, his lips were pursed. I was like, he's already annoyed.
Yeah. And on go.
He was. That's why I tweeted. I'm like, I'm glad that they set this up and production was there because when he had that drink in his hand, I really thought he was gonna throw it in her face.
Oh, you think he's that catty?
Did you go back and look at the episode and look at when he clutched that wine glass?
Yeah,
it looked like it looked like if the production wasn't there, he would have tossed it at her.
When she said, "Your issues are like internal, like you're projecting them on me," like I know that he was triggered because that's absolutely has to be the case. Like, what is going on here? But we want to know. I mean, what was the tea, JB?
So I don't think I can tell you guys that she told me about his ex. So they were together for 5 years, right?
Wait, the lover secretary and maid?
Yeah, they were together for 5 years.
He married at 5 years.
They were together for 5 years, and Jessica told me that nobody really knew about them because he didn't go out with she was kind of like in the house. She didn't go anywhere with him. And if you guys go look at his social media, there's no women. It's all him. It's just all about Chris. So I don't think he really, I think he's self-centered. I think
Chris is all my little secret.
That's how we should keep it, apparently.
For 5 years?
Yes. So you guys remember when she said she didn't want to be the forever girlfriend? That's why. Because I asked Jessica, I was like, so when that woman said she didn't want to be the forever girlfriend, y'all didn't ask her like how long we got together? Just as, oh yes, we did. I did. She said because I asked her how long we got together. She said, oh, we were together for 5 years. I was like, 5 years? I'm like, hell no. And so also when they said Jessica came in, loud and everything, Jessica, if you guys go back to last week's episode, when they got to the retreat, all Jessica's, because she said, if you look at the episodes, you'll see the only thing I say is, hey, party people. So that's what she said when she came into the restaurant. She said, hey, party people. And I don't know, but I told Jessica, I'm like, that woman shrunk as soon as you walked in that restaurant.
Yeah,
she shrunk. And I think she probably saw in Jessica something in Jessica that she wished that she had and, portrayed in her relationship with Chris. Because 5 years is a very long time to be in a relationship with somebody and not, get a ring or anything.
Yeah. I wonder what happened with him and his child.
Posted on social media. The nigga, I mean, he wasn't even. The man wasn't posting her on social media. Damn.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I wonder what happened with the child's mother because I'm feeling like
we didn't talk about. I didn't ask nothing about that, but like I said earlier, she was Jessica's been very respectful of this dude. She could have said so many nasty things about him, but she took but like I said, at first, poker face. She didn't show any disdain for Chris. About 30 minutes into that conversation, it was written all over her face. She could not stand that man. And now we see why.
Yeah.
And now we can see why. Yeah. And also, I think so. I asked her the other question. Do y'all get paid for this show? She said, absolutely. So I think that's why a lot of people try to stay around. They get paid. I didn't ask her how much they got paid, but she definitely said they get paid to do Ready to Love.
Do they get paid per episode, or the longer you stay, the more?
I didn't ask her that, but I'm pretty positive it's per episode. I'm thinking it's the longer that they stay around, they get paid. That's how most reality shows are. You get paid by the episodes that however long you stay around. But yeah, they absolutely get paid. She said, "Well, I absolutely got paid." Because like people in because somebody in the, I don't forgot who it was, but somebody in the past that they didn't get paid. I was like, I can't believe that.
Yeah, I heard that they weren't feeding the people at one point when they were sitting there on there for them long days and long nights. The Love Is Blind people said that too. I'm like, what is it? Isn't them early seasons where y'all not feeding the folks? Don't just pay me minimum wage. You have to feed me too.
Yeah, I didn't even ask her. I don't want to get too deep into her business and be like, how much they pay you? I don't want to get that nosy because I was like, yeah, that would be too nosy. But yeah, she said they got paid. So I'm thinking it's per episode.
Well, they couldn't have been getting paid that much because they wasn't putting on no show. Like, I mean, if you're getting paid, give us a performance. Give us something interesting to watch.
What did you ask her?
A drink.
Let me see what it was a lot of. I mean, it was an hour conversation. It was a long ass conversation. But she was just we were talking about how, because I was telling her, like, with her, I was like, the way you're talking to me, you seem, real chill. And I was like, I feel like they typecast a lot of people, right? They look for the mean girl. They look for the, a lot of people have to just feel like a typecast. Because she was like, I didn't give them anything that they could use against me. I said, no, because she said, if you look at it, they're trying to paint me off as a mean girl. I said, but you didn't give them that. I said, who did give it to him is Janelle. So she also did tell me, I saw a lot of people saying that she knew Janelle before this season, which she said she didn't know Janelle, but she said she's only known Janelle for a year prior to this show, and they weren't like friends like that. They just kind of knew each other through passing. Now, there were other people that she said knew each other. Some of them went to school with each other. I won't say who all went to school together with that one, but she did say that some of the ladies knew each other. I know she said that Tequila and Kira knew each other.
Interesting.
But those two knew each other. She said one thing she said she did not like the way that they painted Marvin. She said Marvin is not that sexed up person that they painted him out to be. She said he's not that person. She said there were actually ladies that actually did like him, but they didn't say it on camera. One of them was Katarina.
Dang, how they did my Marvin?
One of them was Katarina. So she said, yeah, Marvin was not who they portrayed him to be on the show. Marvin, she said,
I believe Katarina liked him. She said, yes. She said it was a lot of women who definitely did like him and, asked him a lot of, and were interested in some of the things that he was interested in, but they wouldn't say it on camera. Now, she didn't say if Katarina was interested in that stuff, but she did say that Katarina definitely liked, her some Marvin, like Marvin. But she said she didn't like the way that they painted him on the show. And she was telling me some things he makes. I forgot what she said. But you guys remember in one episode he was talking about making the Power Rangers costume. So I know he's into. She said he's into that kind of stuff. He makes things like that. Yeah,
Why didn't Kat speak up more about Marvin? I don't understand.
I don't know about that. Because she said the ladies' lounge, she said that they filmed those for about 2 to 3 hours. And so when they sit in there, they tell them where to sit at. So they don't just walk in there and sit down. Production tells them exactly where to go sit at, right? And she said the production will ask them to give them 3 names, men and women. So you give them 3 names, right? So the producers will just literally just cut whoever, they want to cut. So that's why sometimes when you see in the lounge when they say, oh, I have because I was like, it seems so odd that these men keep switching their connections each week. And so she was like, yeah, what they do is they ask us for 3 names. And that's what happens. So we give them 3 names, but they only show us 2 names. But they ask them for 3. It was a long conversation. But most of the stuff we talked about was like I talked about her business because I was like, I looked you up. And I was like, I found your business. She's like, yeah. And did they film any of that? She said, no. Because that scene with Chris going to her job, that was production that set that up, not her. So she said production sets up all the dates. They filmed all over Dallas. They even gave them some Black-owned businesses to go to. Production didn't go to the Black-owned businesses. She said, so she did say in the beginning that Chris was asking for the dates with her. But she saw in the interviews what he was saying behind the scenes. She was like a little confused. They'd see the episodes with us. So when we're watching the episode, they're watching it for the first time. So that's their first time watching the episode. So tonight's episode was their first time seeing it. They don't get it in.
Damn. Okay, so did you ask her? I know you kind of talked a little bit about Chris, but did she say anything in like specific about Chris that you can share?
No, she did not say anything about Chris. She was
Not.
not. She didn't say anything about him because she asked me when we first started talking. She's like, "So what do you think of the season?" I said, "It's boring as hell." She's like, "I agree." She said, "I agree." She said, "So," I said, "Nobody has any connection." She's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, nobody has any connections." I said, "You and Chris don't have a connection." She said, "Really?" I said, "No, there's no connection between you and Chris." And like I said, she just had a poker. She showed nothing. But she didn't say anything negative about Chris. She just told me. I just asked her the questions about the ex. That's all I was curious about was the ex. Because when I met her, it was literally the week after that episode had aired. So I was asking her questions about the ex, and that's when she was filling me in about they were together for 5 years, and all that kind of stuff, and how he really didn't showcase that lady. I felt so bad for her. You were in a relationship with that man for 5 years, and he didn't.
I will say with the production, I thought that they, set it up too. But then when she bought that lunch, he was like, "I'm so surprised," and I'm like, "Y'all mic'd up in his cameras. Surprised about what? Her bringing lunch?"
Yeah,
I didn't know somebody was coming.
That was production that set it up, not her.
I'm like, what are you surprised about? Like, you got a mic on.
Yeah.
I wonder if she bought the lunch on her own or if they told her to do all that.
Harold says, JB, why don't you get Jessica to come talk on your channel?
I will see, but I can tell you guys that she is completely over this season. She's completely over it.
They all do their interview with Crystal XO, so I feel like she should. It would be nice if she gave you that interview since I already have a report.
Yeah, Jessica's completely over this season because, like I told you guys earlier, I went to her back to school event, so she had Sierra there. Sierra actually recognized me from Twitter.
Oh.
Sierra recognized me, but she laughed. She was like, "It's all cool," because I had tweeted earlier this season that Sierra looked like she's 41 years old and not 34.
Wait, did I tweet that too? I might have retweeted it. Oh God.
But no, she said it was. She was like, because she looked at me. She said, "You look familiar." I said, "I'll be on Twitter." She said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have to fight." And I was like, she was like, "No, I'm just playing with you." And it was cool. So Sierra was there. Red was there. He kept staring me up and down. I was like, this man recognizes me. He said nothing to Red. I ignored Red. I met Herbert. Herbert is like really tall. Herbert is tall as hell. I was like, damn, I gotta look up to him a little bit. Quinton, met him. We're about the same. He's a little bit taller than I am. He had on these short ass shorts. I'm like, boy, you love some short shorts, don't you?
Daddy short.
Yes. Janelle was there. Did not speak to Janelle. She kept looking at me too. I was like, I'm gonna keep my distance from you because I talked about your boots. But I will say one thing about Janelle. She has lost a lot of weight, and she was very nice to everybody that was there. Yeah. She was very nice. But she's lost a lot of weight. So what you see on the show, she doesn't look like that currently. Oh, also they filmed a reunion in June. So they filmed it in March. They filmed the season in March and filmed a reunion in June.
Oh my God, that's not enough time to do. Are they really trying to find couples, or are they just shooting a TV show?
I hate that they showed the reunion as soon if they haven't seen any of the episodes because you don't know that this person said this behind your back or whatever. This needs to be addressed on the reunion. So now the reunion may fall flat.
Right.
Yes, so thing
happened after the reunion with Janelle going to Kat's condo and all that. So I'm like,
oh, we talked about that too. And I told him like that was a terrible look. I was like, why would she pull up on that woman like that? This is an open carry state. Texas is an open carry state. So if she wanted to, she could have just banged her. Texas is an open carry state, and it's a stand your ground state as well.
What did she say? Because it show Liz a stand your ground. Florida and Texas, they cousins.
Yeah, we're an open.
What did she say?
So she kind of defended it, and I was like, it's fine. I don't have an issue if you defend. But she was like, if you tell me to, which I agree. If you tell me to pull up, I mean, I ain't gonna at 34. I'm not gonna pull up on nobody. But
and she's 42. Just
I get it. If you tell me to pull, I'm not going to actually pull up, but I'm like, don't tell me. But she was just like, don't tell me to pull up if you don't expect me to pull up. That's all she said. She really didn't defend it, but that's what she said. Don't tell me to pull up if you not ready for it, right? And I was like, I can't.
ready for what I got when you pull up on me, though.
And that's what I said to Jessica. I'm like,
like, well, now here's the evidence, and she said her address. Like, you literally now anybody.
No, we didn't talk about that part, but I was like, I didn't like that.
Damn, Jessica, this why they lump you in with
Right.
Janelle.
A little bit by it, just a little bit.
I know Janelle get you sucked into the whirlwind. You just break free. You just break free.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all she said. She said, don't ask me to pull up if you're not really ready for work.
Now I'm like, would Jessica do the same thing?
I don't know. She's very sweet. So I don't know if she's with that act. I don't know if she's about fighting or not. Like, but because from what I gather, she's all about her business and promoting her coffee.
Ezra Coffee.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
Is it gonna be on being reviewed on your? Oh, okay.
Yep, I am going to review it.
She's about her business. That's what I would say about Jessica.
And Belle, what is the name of that segment on your channel? If you don't mind me
I didn't want to mess it up. I was like,
The bold and Black-owned perspective.
I like that.
Yeah.
Don't know how you came up with that, but I really enjoy it. I want you.
Okay, D. Okay, all right, D. D contributed to the name.
You ain't got to put nobody's business in the street. I just was asking the question. That's all.
Okay.
Lovely name. Shout out to the Black businesses. Yeah. Jessica with her coffee. I gotta get me some.
Yes. Check out her Ezra Coffee.
Yeah.
Please
Anything else,
That's
JB,
really
that you want to share from the conversation?
That's really it.
Okay.
But I think everybody, has one perception of Jessica. I don't know why people think she's so combative. We've yet to see that.
If she was so combative, she would have lost her shit the way I would have when that man started carrying on like that. Because I'd have been like, first of all, who the hell you talking to?
Right.
Exactly.
Well, I think him saying that, like, even if she felt like doing that, now it's like, now I'm definitely not because you made that comment. Her
But
not
did you notice
sitting there just pissed him off.
And I told him in my DM that I'm glad you didn't give him the energy because I think it just pissed him off even more.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that he lied again and said he didn't call her combative. But then you came back with the combative.
Yeah,
you are combative and you are this and you are. I'm like, okay, so you just gave yourself away. So what was the point of holding that close to the vest?
Right.
Only to say it in this moment.
Yeah.
That's what I called him weak on
already
Twitter.
been eliminated, so why hold back now? Say it.
Exactly. That's why I called him weak. A weak little man.
Yep. He trash. He a band.
And he was a combative one in this moment. So whatever happened before, once we got here, you start cussing that lady out like in a public place. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I'm like, how did we get here? I'm trying to figure out like why did they even fall out? Like what was it? Couldn't have been because she came in being loud, which she hugged his ex. She wasn't being loud.
She wasn't loud at all.
Mm-mm.
I watched that episode multiple times. I'm like, where is she loud at? I don't think.
And even if she was, that's her. That's who she is.
Right. She expects you to be around her.
Like if you go back to that episode, Jessica came in and she's, the woman went to go shake her hand, and Jessica said, "Oh, I hug."
All right.
That's all she said. That woman shrunk.
Oh, Belle, you said
yes.
this on Twitter.
Definitely bad behavior. Bad behavior.
Yes, definitely. Don't disagree.
Jedi mind tricks.
Mm-hmm. To get you in the.
They try to manipulate her.
Yep.
Narcissistic, and I got to pull out the overly used words.
Right. All right.
Let's see.
Okay, so any thoughts or predictions for how we're going to close this rather stale season out in the next couple of episodes?
We already know we got Janelle. I think it'll be Janelle and Q, probably Jessica and Maurier, and Aries and Phil.
Mm-hmm.
if we need 3 couples, it's gonna bother me to say this.
Because they're probably not gonna let them pick themselves anymore. They can't choose them anymore.
If it's 3 couples, I feel like it's gonna be the nutcase Janelle and Quinton, my girl Jessica and Slouch Fest, and
Oh my god.
that's what I think.
No, I don't know. I think Jessica is going to get voted off next episode because the guys have the power again.
But Lee has a connection.
Guy gets cut off, then the girl that he had the connection with like gets cut off next. They Kat Maurier, and he doesn't have anyone else unless he goes with Kat. All of a sudden, then they connect over, birthstones and tarot card reading.
Actually, let me take it back. Nope, never mind. No, I think Jessica's gonna stay.
Yeah, because Lee has no connections.
Yeah, I just thought about it.
Quinton is so linked up with Janelle at this point, and I told Jessica this. She didn't say anything to me about this, right? She didn't say anything, but I was like, it feels like people have alliances because it just gives alliance. Because I don't really, honestly, I don't buy this whole situation with Janelle and Quinton from the jump. If you guys go back to one of the men's lounge when he was like, yeah, Janelle is my number one, but no, Janelle's his number one, but it's like him and Lee were already in a relationship with each other. How was that the case?
Right, yeah, that didn't make any sense. Well, if you were at the community event last week and Quinton was there and Janelle was there, then we know who you went with, whose side.
They weren't really with each other. She went up to him when they, getting ready to leave, and she hugged him goodbye. But I didn't see them really interacting a lot like that.
Yeah,
I can't really say. I was trying to look and see if they were, together a lot, but I was like, they weren't.
When they had that scene alone, I forgot what they were talking about. It was a little boring. But it was like there's no chemistry whatsoever. But I'm sure they gave friendship. He did defend her on his Instagram last week with that little argument she had with Kat. And I'm just like, or when he posted that scene, that unseen scene where he tried to like talk to her about it. And then he was like, well, what was I supposed to say? Well, that's just how she is. Like, no, she was wrong.
He's terrified of her.
Wrong.
He's afraid.
Yeah, she was wrong. And Kat had enough.
I was also going to say, Shayna, I couldn't, it wouldn't let me go back and comment on it, but Shayna had tagged us on Instagram where apparently she could see where what Belle was it Belle? I think it was Belle was talking about as far as Quinton's beer belly.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was supposed to be quiet.
I mean, I noticed it last week when I went to workout class. I was like, "Ooh, Quinton got a little punch to him."
Got a little one.
His arms are, I
mean, he's a nice looking guy.
Yeah.
Which you said begrudgingly with them slit eye emojis.
Yeah, because I don't, I don't too much care for him.
You weren't trying to copy that one.
Nah. But
why don't you see it for him? Is it you didn't like him before you gave up your cape for Janelle, so
nah, he a Q. I don't too much. I don't do them like that. Not like that. Like not like that.
Because the lady said he was non-committal.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't be by himself.
Yeah, and that's what I wonder. That's what they were talking about in that boring conversation. Because he was like, "Oh, the last person I was with never said thank you, never showed appreciation, never said I love you." Yeah. And it's like, it wasn't her, the one who said you wouldn't commit. Was that the last one? Like the one who said that y'all weren't in a real relationship? It was a situationship.
Right.
What is she thinking? Like, are we a couple or not?
They want to be the victim so bad.
Right. You seen him here rewriting history. Unless he was talking about somebody else.
Well, all right. That brings this exciting and thrilling episode to a close. Any final thoughts from our panel members?
I grew up with Belle and Chris is the band, the biggest that I've ever saw.
The biggest band. The biggest band.
Can't control your emotions, huh, sir? Because didn't he say last week that women are too emotional?
Yeah. We sure did last week. But who's sassier? Sassy Red or Chris with the mess?
Um,
I'm giving
Both. Because I mean, the way Red kept coming at Unique.
Pick one over the other. I guess I'm still going with Chris.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Chris if we have to pick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm giving it
I
to
ain't never
Chris.
saw a man get so mad like that he clutches a damn wine glass like he gonna toss it in the face.
He told her, "I'm a man. You need to respect me as a man."
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, a little
I don't
boy.
care what you think about me. Like, do you have some internal issues you're dealing with? Is this identity thing or something you need to share?
He's about to lift that table up, something. Like, how you let yourself get that mad on TV? I'd have been embarrassed. I'd have been like, okay, all right.
In the thick of it, you forget about them cameras.
You gonna go in the car like Red on Friday?
I don't know how, but okay. Oof.
All right. Well, I would like to hear from each of you about what is coming up on these wonderful channels of yours with plenty of content.
Oh no, where did he go?
He put somebody in the spotlight and he took his.
He was talking and then just went away.
Dang. Well, we'll keep the train going. Oh, actually, there
you go.
Yay! That's okay.
Lord.
So
all good.
Start once I get back on the stream. So yes. So Belle, we can start with you.
Where's everybody? Oh, yes. Oh my God, I don't want to be on here by myself. Hey everybody. Oh my God, I'm nervous. Just kidding. So I have another bold and Black owned business perspective video that I'm putting together. I'm really trying to get a little bit more interactive, like showing you how I use the products, things like that. So that's why it's taking me so long to publish it, but that's coming. I am also, what is happening? The Shy. I finally finished watching and got caught up with the show. So I'm going to give my review on that. And then also, last thing, I have my book club, Black Lituations, the book club. We are reading The Other Black Girl, and we're trying to read it before, but it's actually not going to happen. That it's going to show, there's a series on Hulu that's going to be a depiction of or an adaptation of the book on September 13th. We're reading the book September 28th. We're going to get together virtually. It's completely free. My free book club, Black Lituations. We're reading The Other Black Girl, September 28th, 7:00 virtually Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you guys there. And then I'm also going to review that Hulu series as well. So check me out.
All right. And up next, we have Miss Kira.
Oh, it's me. Hello, everybody. So recently I put up a live. Well, I did a live for season 2 of The Ultimatum. If you guys are interested in that snooze fest, you can go ahead and check it out. Also, I did a live recap of Todd Tucker and Candy Burst is the Past. Hashtag replay that. Coming up tomorrow is my Saturday sip. I'm going to have another one also later in the month, but tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, grab your drink, just come have a little kickback with your girl, and just keep your notifications on and check a community tab. I have a watch list coming up at the end of the month, and not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, I have a live Pajama Sunday. Not quite sure what we're talking about yet, but keep the notifications on. I have lots more to come.
And Miss Shayna McDonald.
What I have going on? I've been doing hot topics here and there. So any hot topics y'all are interested in, definitely don't hesitate to jump in the chat. I'll respond back. Still doing my reviews for any shows that are out right now. Reality. I think Sisters is coming back, so that's one of my scripted shows. And people say they want movie reviews, so I will be trying to do more of those. Me and my mom, Tanya Mack, we did a live for Real Housewives of Atlanta. So be sure to check that out. We did that last week. And I did a live for the movie with Drew Sidor, Todd Tucker's The Past. So check that out if you haven't already.
And of course, our special guest, Mr. JB Says What?
All right, you guys. So coming up on my channel, I have Ready to Love review, Ready to Love live, Love During Lockup. I will do Hot Topics, and then I will be doing Power Book 4 Force reviews. She can see that Sunday. Saturday, I have, Sunday morning, I will be doing my live for Love and Marriage Detroit, the reunion part 2. Thank God it's over. And then on Sunday, you guys can catch me for Real Housewives of New York. And that's what's coming up for me.
And as for me, I will say technically not much has changed as far as what's coming up from the last few times I've popped up at the end of the panel. But I will say I have recorded something for the first time in a long time. And I feel like I'm making strides to jump back in and actually be a part of these YouTube streets. I had my break from mental health, and I will continue to be mindful of the mental health and, just getting the emotions and all this together. But yeah, it's time to push forward and press on towards the mark. So yes, I will just simply say, I won't say any specifics yet, but I will say that I am getting back on board with the content. So I am very excited about that. All right. Well, I appreciate you all joining me. I am still adjusting to this whole live stream experience, so hope that it flowed as well as could be, even with the awkward moments and, of course, the lapses in interest given the episode. But yes, I still enjoyed hearing from you all.
Same.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fun.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah, good job.
All right. Okay. Well, if there is nothing else, we will see you all soon. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will be hopping back in next Friday at 9:30 on someone's channel.
I think it's my turn.
Kira's channel. My apologies. I'm off because we had a little switcheroo from last week. So I had to, sorry. But yes, we will be on Miss Kira Speaks channel next Friday at 9:30 following the episode. We will be enjoying the conversation, but we will also be enjoying once the reunion gets here and we can completely just throw the rest of this season away. Like we're also anticipating that very much so.
Yes.
So, all right. We thank you guys for joining us. You have a good one and we'll catch you next time.
6-6. The way I'm winning, I might have to cut in that hoe. Yeah, I'm shining bright, got me feeling like I'm next, so feeling like I'm Curry, how I'm balling on a West Wall.